Hi, my name is Justin, aka Ghost Reader, and today is Tuesday, the second day of the POC-a-thon, and once again, I am heading to work. Enjoyed my reads last night, finished one book, almost done with another, and I have today, I'm going to still be reading or listening to 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Marquez on the way to work. I'm going to be reading Searching for Black Confederates. Going to try to finish reading Obviously today, and then I'm going to try to pick up another book. I'm not exactly sure what that'll be just yet. I'll start reading that. So I've been enjoying seeing your TBRs as well. I watched a couple of them yesterday. They were really fun. One person actually that was kind of funny said that they said they were going to read nonfiction and then realized it was historical fiction like later on, and I threw some shade at them for that one. But other than that, everyone's TBRs have been great and entertaining. You guys are reading a lot of great stuff, so keep it up. Definitely enjoying my reads, and I hope you guys will enjoy your reads, whatever you read today. Alright, so I did some more listening today, 100 Years of Solitude, and the story has gotten even more interesting and crazier as time has gone on. And right now I think I'm to like the third or fourth generation of the family, and there's a lot of magical realism in this book that makes it, when it enters the story, it's like it's just part of the world, which is like magical realism is supposed to be. Like, for example, it was like casually mentioned that gypsies came to the village one time with flying carpets, and the people in town were just like, okay, well, this is fun. But it wasn't, they really caused a big deal. There were ghosts that appear every so often in the story. But at the same time, the story is really, at times, really tragic. Like, a lot of the family has met some tragic ends, or has some really, really bad things happen to them. So far in the book, my favorite character is Ursula, who is like the matriarch of this family, from when we start the story. Just her character throughout. I didn't start off liking her, because there was a situation involving her that actually ended up with someone getting killed. So I didn't dislike her. I just didn't have really any special interest towards her until later on in the book. She's very like headstrong, very I would say the responsible person in the family, who's trying to keep the family together. And it just seems that like no matter what she does, her family is hell-bent on like destroying themselves in some type of way. But I'm really enjoying that read so far. It's definitely, like I said, not what I expected. And it's something I think that I'm going to have to like actually get the book for and read, because I think there's so much in there that just listening to, I think it'll be a lot easier to get at if I actually read it on the page. And then another book that I started reading, which was something that was not on my TBR for the POC-a-thon, but it is now, is the book for the book club, and that is A Place for Us by Fatima Fareen Mirza. I started listening to this today. It is about an Indian American Muslim family, who at the beginning of the book, they've all come together for a wedding. However, there are some things going on that have kind of caused some tensions in the family between the father, mother, and their three siblings, two sisters and a brother. And then the story proceeds to go to basically look back at the past, to how they got to where they are. And it doesn't just focus on the older sister who's getting married, but it also focuses, so far at least, is focused on the older sister's getting married, the younger brother, who is kind of a disappointment, or not a disappointment, but there's definitely some tension between his father, and I would say he is kind of a disappointment, and that causes a lot of tension between the father and his son, because the son is not following the religion anymore, and seemed to kind of is trying to make his own way. And that's kind of disappointing, at least to his father, a lot. And in a way, even the eldest daughter has kind of stepped out away from tradition because she's picked someone for love rather than someone that her parents would have picked. And it also focuses on the mother as well, and it looks back at like the choices she was making when she was a younger person, and when she was married with kids, and how her life is. So that's where I am in that book so far. It's not told in a linear way, so it's kind of like jumping around, so you get like a bit of each person's story little by little, but so far it's very interesting. It's good. I love the person's writing so far, like hearing it. The narrator is great as well. And so that's where I am so far. So I have a couple things to do. I'm gonna head home, pick up obviously, and probably do some more reading and searching for Black Confederates, and then we'll see where we go from there. Alright guys, so I'm finally home, and now I am going to dig into the Three-Body Problem. Three-Body Problem is a Chinese sci-fi book, and it was translated from Mandarin into English. All I know about this book is what I read from the synopsis. Looks like there's contact made with aliens, and then they're split into two camps about what to do with the alien problem, but that's about all I know. But I have heard good things about it, so I am looking forward to diving into this book and enjoying some of it. So I'm gonna dig into this tonight and see where the rest of the night takes me. Okay, so it is really late, and I have read about 70 pages of the Three-Body Problem, and someone mentioned who was reading this on Twitter that this was kind of dark, and it is indeed dark. It starts off in a very, very dark place, but it definitely grabs your attention and keeps you hooked. It starts off in the 1960s during the Cultural Revolution in China, and it goes through like some of the stuff that was going on then. It kind of leads, I really don't know where it leads to yet. I do know that the main character that they kind of start off with was a woman who then they flash forward to into the future. So I'm not sure where she fits in, but whatever that particular woman was doing or did in the past plays a key part in what's going to happen in the rest of this book. I just haven't gotten to where it's fully explained yet in this book, and it switched to a different character, an Asian man in the future, and it seems that some physicists that are working on a particular project have been committing suicide, and they're not sure why, so they bring him in to help infiltrate this group that these physicists were part of, and so to try to figure out like why he killed themselves or what's causing them to kill themselves. So it's a very interesting book so far. Definitely wasn't expecting it to be as dark as it was, but definitely grabs your attention and keeps you reading. It's definitely a page turner, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I also got caught up in a little bit of playing a video game of mine that I like to play, Empire Total War, because I like history, and basically it's about empire building in the 1700s, so definitely up my alley. And I almost forgot to mention that I actually finished reading, obviously, stories from my timeline, and this was actually a really good book. I think she did a really good job with her memoirs, balancing out keeping it funny and hilarious, but also touching on some really serious topics such as racism, growing up, trying to find yourself and who you are, and talking about her struggles. And I think that a lot of people will be able to relate to some of the stuff that she goes through, because I feel like a lot of us who are making that transition from being a teenager to adulthood. We're going through some of the same challenges that she faced, and she takes a very she has a very good outlook and ways of tackling those challenges in this book and in her own life. And she provides some advice to her readers. And also, I think that since most of you watching are also YouTubers yourselves, there are some things in here that you can relate to, because she herself is a YouTuber and she relates some of the stuff that she's gone through as a creator and trying to find herself and her voice. So I actually really like this memoir. I would recommend it if you like reading memoirs of interesting people. I think she has a very interesting story, and she just tells it in a very funny, engaging way. And so yeah, if you have the chance and you want to pick up a good memoir, I definitely would recommend it. And I wish her all the best in the future for all the other endeavors that she has planned out in the future. But yeah, that is it for tonight. I'm going to call it quits here. I really enjoyed my reads for today. 100 Years, Solitude has been on point. It's been great. I'm really loving the family, generational, magical realism drama. A Place for Us, I believe it's called. I'm really liking that so far. And The Three Body Problem, which is actually really good. I'm glad I actually picked it up. I picked it up at Barnes & Noble's when they had it was on sale for like $10. So I'm really glad to have picked it up and reading it for the POC-a-thon. So that's it for day 2 of the POC-a-thon. What are you guys doing? How are you guys doing on your POC-a-thon reads? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at GhostReads28 and also on Goodreads. Link is down in the description box below. And you can also follow me on Instagram. That's Justin the Ghost Reader. And as always, keep reading.